on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the August 17th and 25th meetings.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item 2 is a wastewater treatment facility improvement project from Iron Construction, pay estimate number 13. Any comments or questions?
Oh, it's a big one.
It is, yes. Progress is being made. They are on schedule and moving forward, so I would make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What's the, rest of the schedule? Like, when do you think you'll be done?
Well, we're currently.
Thanks, Alan.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's fine. If you're all right, that I'll just chime in.
Great.
So we're, cost-wise, as far as the project is concerned, we're about 67% complete. Now, you said that this last one was pretty large, and it was. We had a lot of equipment delivered, as far as pumps, some of our larger equipment was delivered. This was a busy month. It was crazy. Right now, we're in the process of working through startups. We just we just about finished our first one, and that's really getting WPS, the new public service or new electrical service coming into the plant. We've just tested the generators, the backup generators, and we have to check the automatic program or the programming for the automatic switchover with the switch gear, so that we can start adding different facilities, switching over to our new electrical system, which has the backup generators. And our first building that's going to go on is the new admin building. Second will be the existing blower building, which is a big consumer of power, so that we can switch the aeration system. We have half of the aeration system done. We have one of the blowers in. We're ready to start our new process in that, and that's going to happen in October. October is going to be a crazy month. October, November, all kinds of things that are going to be almost starting on top of one another, and they have to, because one process depends on the other, so they almost have to snowball together. Now, so that's going to be the big. There's going to be some big pieces. We're going to be bringing on the dryer, the dewatering system here at October, November time frame, and we're going to be getting the bugs out of the system. Right, we're going to be working out the kinks. Everything has. There's always. I'd like to see one project that started up without a problem, but that's what we're there for startup. We go through what we consider a substantial, not substantial completion, but a 7-day trial, right? That we run through the equipment, make sure there's no issues with it operating before the owner actually starts taking ownership of that equipment to operate it. So we are, to answer your question, we are in the midst. We are just starting to kick off, starting the new processes up. A lot of everything that you've seen up to now has been, lack of better terms, the foundation, right? We've been getting everything set so that we can, we got the buildings built, we got the infrastructure in, we have equipment in, we're piping it, getting ready to start. Getting ready for this moment now, right, where we're going to start up processes and start energizing equipment and starting to switch the processes over, eliminating the existing plant processes and start bringing the new online. So, in short, we're right there right now. That's when things are going to start.
okay. One of the I guess concerns or questions I have. So the city secured money through ARPA, and water and sewer projects are specifically listed. So of course, we're still working on preliminary rules with ARPA funds because they haven't
Yes.
finalized those. And we've been talking about using, and I'm glad Steve is on the line too, some of the money to apply to these projects. so that
Yes.
the city wouldn't have to borrow as many funds for the project, which would then, serve to save all of our users money on their quarterly bills.
Yes,
And so we've been slow to come out of the gate only because it seemed like there wasn't a lot of information available to us and we were working on, preliminary rules. So I'm just trying to predict how much time we have before we make a decision on that. I just attended a conference, I think it was last week, did I mention to you, that said, that the White House put on that said, you really weren't supposed to expand capacity. It would really be more for not necessarily renovation, but maintenance of continuing capacity.
sure.
And so I, asked Eric, well, how would we be able to delineate expanded capacity versus, and he
Ah.
felt like there really wasn't expanded capacity with the new facilities, that really it is just maintenance of existing capacity.
Yeah, we're not increasing, any aeration capacity. What you're doing is gaining efficiency.
Okay.
Right, so the system is, what we're trying to do is make what you have, as efficient as we can. We're not adding tankage except for clarification, and settling is definitely, necessary. But as far as the activated sludge process is concerned, that's not necessarily being expanded, but we're enhancing it by adding selectors, up front of that, so that will improve the, what you can process within the activated sludge system. So I would agree with Eric that majority of what we're doing, for lack of better terms, is we could apply to maintenance. Now, it depends, Lori, how much funding you're talking about. Are you talking $2 million, $10 million, $50 million? What?
So what we
What's
were
your
kind of
range?
bouncing around was a $10 million
Sure.
amount. And we had thought we could divvy it up between water and sewer, or just sewer. Or,
Sure. And we could, it's easy to argue. Now, granted, we have Structure 770, brand new process, right? So, what you're doing for solids handling, someone might say, well, you're expanding that. Well, you already have solids handling. What we're doing is are you gaining capacity? No, we're still processing, that one might be a gray area, but we're making the improvements to the digester building, right? We're upgrading the heat exchangers, the boilers that are just on their last leg. Raw wastewater pumps, we're replacing those. So we could easily come to $10 million that are really considered maintenance and improving. We can't necessarily push any more water through the plant. It does have its limitations. We're maxing that out to the best of our ability. But a lot of these items, yes, processes have been in for 30 some years that require some improvement. So it could be argued that yes, there's certain areas that are maintenance, and we could probably come up with $5 million of that. And I think maybe Steve has as an easier argument from the standpoint that it's a whole greenfield, right, to take care of your facility. So yeah, I wouldn't have any concerns with someone arguing that it's all because we're expanding the capacity. There's a lot of these items that are maintenance related.
so I think the other nuance is, you can't retire debt with the funds, so it would have to be a new draw that we would use the funds for. It couldn't be that
Sure.
because once we had drawn the funds from the DOA, that now became debt. So it would have to be a future draw
Yes.
that rather than submitting it to the DOA, we
That's
would,
right.
we would just use our ARPA funds on hand. So
That's right. And then we'd adjust the request to the state accordingly.
Yeah.
You know, this portion is being paid by the city, and it's easy enough to
Okay.
do. That's-
excellent, glad to hear it.
Yeah.
This is Steve from Becker Hoppy. If I could chime in, I agree totally with what Alan said. And from the drinking water side, it is essentially a replacement of capacity that you have now. There, without much additional replacement of buildings you have now. The one thing I would add is I know on the water side, there's a couple of projects that they've been looking at, one of which is replacing, probably going back to the 30s or 40s pump station. So there are some other opportunities in the system that may not be, the water plant would be the easiest way to contribute it, but there are other projects money could be quickly used for as well.
So I'm looking after this pay request, we only have 12 million left on our contract for water, and then we would have 27 for sewer. So, should we be saying to ourselves, well, we need to make a decision in the month of September?
It would be good to have a good idea of it. General schedule on the water plant is, we're going to be starting up equipment. November 1st is when we want to have water directed to it. The contract schedule is to have system demonstration, which is the plant making water in February and going completely online spring, summer of next year. So I don't know that a final decision needs to be made in September, but pretty
Well-
quickly after that would be good.
Yeah, and again, I'm looking more at draw requests versus, because if
Right.
we draw the money down, once we draw the money down from the state,
Yep.
then it's considered spent on debt then. So, okay. All right. Cool, well, thank you for the information. If I planted the seeds, so if you think of any things, I'd certainly appreciate hearing, further feedback if you think of anything.
Well, Lori,
This Mary Ann.
I mean, I'm sorry, I apologize.
That's
I
okay.
just see Lori's name up there, but she's just the one that's logged in, so I
Yeah.
apologize for that. I mean, what would you be looking for then? I mean, are you looking for some documentation from the engineering groups as far as what's being considered maintenance and apply we could go through the schedule of values and apply, apply an amount or what? I mean, is there
Well, I
something
didn't-
that you would?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan, I think what would be good is if you and Steve could go through the schedule of values and each come up with, $10 million worth of work.
Okay.
So then the decision can be made, do you want to split it between them? Do you want it to all go to
Right.
one or the other, Then
And these
they'll
would
have some
be
options.
for, if you went through the statement of values of what has not been drawn yet.
Correct.
Yep, okay.
Okay,
Will do.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
So we'll move on to item 3, discussion, drinking water treatment facility for Myron Construction, pay estimate 11. I would make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item 4 is a Portland cement concrete license from ABG Masonry. Ann has reviewed and approved this, so I will make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Section 1985D of the Wisconsin statutes for the purpose of considering and deliberating on pre-qualification statements for the North 12th Avenue sidewalk project.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.